Welcome back to the Awesome Agents podcast. Today we are talking about a pretty blunt warning from inside Google about which AI startups are going to make it.
Yeah, this one is from Darren Mowry, the VP who runs Google's entire global startup organization. He basically told TechCrunch that two types of AI companies have their check engine light on:
Okay, so what are the two types?
LLM wrappers and AI aggregators. Wrappers are startups that put a nice interface on top of someone else's model. Aggregators are platforms that route queries across multiple models through one API.
So like you build a product on top of GPT-5 or Gemini, and your whole value is the UI.
Exactly. And Maury's point is the industry does not have patience for that anymore. If the backend model is doing all the work and you are just white labeling it, that is not a company, that is a feature.
Ouch. But here is what confuses me. Cursor is basically a wrapper, right? And they just raised 2.3 billion at a $29 billion valuation. That does not look like extinction.
Right. And that is the paradox. More money is flowing into AI than ever. 17 US startups raised over 100 million just in the first 7 weeks of this year. But the distribution is wildly uneven.
So the winners are winning bigger and the losers are disappearing faster.
Exactly. Cursor crossed a billion in annualized revenue last November, 5 times what it was 6 months before. By every growth metric, it is a rocket ship.
So where is the problem?
The problem is margins. Every coding session generates hundreds of model calls. Cursor pays OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google for those tokens. At billions of lines of code generated daily, the token bill is enormous, even with volume discounts.
And those suppliers are also building competing products.
That is the real threat. OpenAI has Codex, Anthropic has Claude Code, Google is building its own coding tools. Your supplier can undercut you tomorrow. That is not a comfortable position at 29 billion.
So who does Maori think will survive?
He pointed to vertical specialists, companies like Harvey, the legal AI startup. They are reportedly raising at an $11 billion valuation. The difference is Harvey trains custom models on law firms' proprietary documents.
So the data itself becomes the moat.
The data, the compliance frameworks, the switching costs. If you are a law firm and you have spent months integrating Harvey into your workflow with your confidential documents, you are not switching to ChatGPT because it got cheaper.
That makes sense. But I want to push back a little. Is not the counterargument that execution speed is its own moat?
It can be, temporarily. Cursor's CEO argues that their rapid innovation cycle, informed by direct user data, is itself a moat. If you ship features weekly while model providers ship quarterly, you stay ahead.
But if the model providers start shipping weekly too?
Then you have a problem. And honestly, that is what we are seeing. The application layer has to move faster than the model layer, and model providers are speeding up, not slowing down.
There is also an irony here that I love. The guy warning startups to build deeper moats works for Google.
Right. Google, whose AI mode now reaches over 75 million daily users. Every feature a wrapper builds on top of Gemini is a feature Google can replicate for free and push to its existing user base overnight.
So Google is saying build a moat while also being the flood.
Basically, yes. And the same applies across big tech. Microsoft has Copilot in every Office product. Amazon is building AI directly into AWS. The squeeze comes from both sides.
Model providers above you, platform distributors below you.
And if you are stuck in the middle with nothing proprietary, you are just arbitraging a margin that is shrinking every quarter. API pricing for GPT-4 class output has dropped from $60 per million tokens to under 15 in 2 years.
So the takeaway for founders is what? Go vertical or go home?
I think it is more nuanced than that. Some aggregators are evolving into real orchestration platforms with evaluation, monitoring, and governance features. Enterprises need that. Raw APIs do not provide it, but the bar is rising fast.
You need proprietary data, deep domain expertise, or infrastructure that is genuinely hard to replicate.
Right. The question is not whether your wrapper adds value today. It is whether it still adds value after the next model release makes your current differentiation just a default feature.
I love how Maori put it. The check engine light is not on for the industry. It is on for companies that mistook proximity to AI for possession of it.
That is a line worth remembering. Proximity is not possession.
Great way to end it. Thanks for breaking that down, Maya. If you are building in this space, go deep or make sure you know what happens when the model catches up.
And maybe do not raise at 29 billion until you have figured that out.
That is all for today. See you next time on the Awesome Agents podcast.